Ready.
Hello, everyone. This is Philly P, your host here with Fight Talks, brought to you by Peoria Life. Check us out on PeoriaLife.com and on YouTube, The Peoria Life, but without the, just Peoria Life. Today, we got a great show for you. We have a returning guest, Omni Kaboom Jones, Bad Academy flag with Robert Bryant. He's had some. He's been doing his own thing, fighting and training in his own way. I'm really curious to hear a little bit more about that. It sounds like he's making his way in the world right now. Got an upcoming fight here in Waukegan. This is May 3rd, Saturday at 300 Lakehurst Road, Waukegan, Illinois. Weigh-ins at 5 p.m. Drinks and food at 6:30. Fights start at 7:30 p.m. They have over a dozen fights on the card. It's going to be a fantastic evening. Our guy here is going to be fighting a guy who's been in Golden Gloves. He's 3-0, and I mean, I'm not sure what his entire record is, but his last three fights he's 3-0. So we know he's bringing the heat. But he's fighting in USA Boxing, so he's gonna be on it. So tell me, man, what have you been up to?
I've been working hard, honestly. Since the spring season started, my been doing my daytime job, which is roofing. And after that, I'm back in the gym every day. Me and Combat Academy, me and the team, we've been improving on different skills, learning, putting things in the arsenal, and we finna pull out the bag on Saturday. Yeah.
My man, so this is gonna be your first amateur fight, am I right?
Yes, sir. The debut. I'm in there. I'm ready.
How do you
It's been a long
feel?
time coming. I feel great. I feel prepared. I feel like there's no chance of me losing. I feel I've done this. I've been in the office working, and I feel like there's no matter who they put in front of me, I'm gonna take them down.
Man, well, do you have any nerves going into this? I mean, being at your first fight.
No, and that's the beautiful thing about it. Because I train with dogs. I train with people who love this sport and who want to become better. I train with people who are the step away from becoming pro. I'm trying to, and I want to be one of the best that I want to be one of the best that come out of the gym. This is what I want. There's no nerves behind it. There's just hunger.
My man. Well, we were talking a little bit about why you got into boxing to begin with, and it was rooted in some of the early work that Robert Bryant was doing. And he did the gloves up, guns down event. Am I right? Was that right, Achuman?
Yes. Yes, he did.
Yeah. I mean, from my opinion, it's really noble, like an incredibly noble cause, and we're 100% behind the spirit of what Robert's doing there. Tell us a little bit about that experience. It sounds like it's taken you a long way in terms of your journey for fighting.
Oh yeah, that's where with PFC, that's what Robert started and everything. That's where I started actually doing some competitive boxing and everything. It was a little underground, but it was the foot in the door to get where I am now. And believe it or not, we do believe PFC will be making a comeback because it is something that Peoria itself needs and Central Illinois altogether as a whole. They need an outlet for all the violence instead of, just grabbing a gun and letting that go.
Yeah, I think Illinois needs to find a way to make it easier for people to get in the ring. You got to
They,
jump through so many hoops to get. I mean, even
mo-
into an amateur fight, it's crazy. And then you wind up with kids that are going out into parking lots and getting their heads smashed onto concrete instead of being in a safe environment with a trainer, a coach. So I think that a lot of this is on Illinois and how they look at MMA. They look at combat sports in general. It seems like it's not in the lower echelon. Like they don't seem to think about it very much. For the people that partake and that participate, it's everything. It's the greatest chess match in the world. Why would we be trying to take that away from people when we could be help building them up? We could be a rock star site for some of the best combat professionals in the entire world. But instead, they have to go and help other promotions. It drives me nuts. I'll get off my high horse. I know I talk about this every
I
time.
I understand that completely. Trust and believe. It doesn't seem like Illinois wants to truly uplift its youth. If that's something I do believe that all youth should be a part of some type of competitive sports, and I do mean combat sports. I mean, it doesn't have to just be boxing. It could be kickboxing. It could be MMA. It could be jujitsu. It could be any of them. But the combat sports itself helps develop discipline. It helps develop confidence. It helps develop your overall personality as a whole. You know what I mean? You don't have to worry about how to you it for me myself it even helps problem solving skills. You don't always have to look at things of the most extreme way to solve it. You can look at how to pick it apart, and you can look at how to do the right, handle it the right ways, and then more than one way to skin a cat. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's just it's extra, stuff in your arsenal. Like I was I was walking downtown going past the bus station the other day, and these guys just started hollering, some really silly stuff, trying to antagonize me and get a response out of me. And I'm like, man, if you even knew just like a little bit about what I did, you wouldn't be talking any of that stuff right now. And I just kept on walking. I didn't say a thing. And like it felt good. Like I'm like I feel like I won that one because I didn't get into a fight. I didn't let this guy into that inner shell where I feel where they could provoke an emotional reaction out of me, and they weren't able to do that because I felt like I had it. Like there was no levels of insecurity at all happening there.
Yeah, without your background, you'd be more susceptible to, prove yourself in the wrong ways.
Yeah, that's a good point. Because like I mean, also what do I have to prove to these guys? They're not a dang thing.
And that's one of the mentalities I love. I even have my daughter now trying to spar with me and everything, trying to understand how to throw hands and everything like that, just so I can try to teach her the confidence of just getting in there and going for it.
How old's your
That's just
daughter?
I, she's 11. She'll be 12 this year.
Oh, dude, that's awesome. Yeah, let's see. By the time we were 11, yeah, my sister had her black belt. Yeah, I had my black belt too. So we were doing,
Nice.
but we were taekwondo, and we weren't doing any. We had no hands. We thought we were like the coolest kids on the block, but no, we had nothing in the way of hands. But we could throw some crazy kicks. That
Yeah,
taekwondo, man.
see,
Oh
man, I'm the
man,
opposite. Those I love the handwork. Out the feet, I'm a little awkward.
well, it's
Oh
tough. Like
man.
especially if you're thinking like, I mean, in MMA in particular, it can be really really difficult because you have to set up your shots, especially like in a
Mhm.
street situation. Unless you really know what you're doing, it's like don't throw kicks. Don't do it. I would really prefer to go into like jujitsu. Like I've been doing a lot of grappling with my son recently. He's
I
5 years
do like that.
old, but it's awesome. Helps him keep on my feet, and I'm showing him the Muay Thai clinch. Just teaching him to swim, and be able to maintain himself and not freak out and just feel comfortable. And it's a blast.
Mhm.
Put the
And learning
mats in the
there's a
living
way out
room.
of every situation. And learning there's a way out of every situation. That is beautiful. And when my son, he's one in about a couple months. He's one in a couple months.
Woo!
Yeah, he's already punching the punching bag. We got a punching bag upstairs. He's doing his thing there. That's one I love teaching the youth. You know what I mean? I love teaching my kids. I love trying to instill some principles and some knowledge into them.
Yeah, I'm hoping my boys are going to be, kind of like the Blackerbees. I'm just going to teach them as much Muay Thai and Jiu-Jitsu and everything that I possibly can. So when they, if they decide to get in the ring, they'll be, fully prepared. And, if anybody decides to mess with them, hopefully they'll know what to do and, how to act in those situations. Because I mean, a lot of people don't understand like the law is not always on your side when you're looking at those kinds of situations. It can be very subjective, and if you don't have like a video camera, an unlying perspective, things can get really messy really quick, and lives can change in an instant. There was one person I used to work with, her brother got killed in a bar fight, and it was this guy just kept going, just kept wailing on him after he was already down. It was like it was unnecessary, but then luckily they were able to get some justice. One of the three individuals they caught, and he was prosecuted and found guilty. But it's like now we've thrown away how many lives over what, pride, ego? I don't know. So that's my
It's the
tangent.
world we live in today. It's the world we live in today. It is wild, and we're taking away a lot more from it and not giving back enough to it, you know. And it seems like more and more people just want more of a handout than actually doing something about the crazy that is going on.
Yeah,
Somebody else
yeah,
expects somebody else to solve all their problems. That's why we're looking at one man in one house to solve every problem that we have instead of, you know, knowing if your neighbor even has food on their table. I remember back in the 90s, you know, I'm showing my age a little bit. Back in the 90s when we had block parties and everything, and your neighbor down the street was like your brother. It's like your cousins and everything. You had your little meetup spots, and everybody knew what was going on with the people next door to you. We don't live like that. We too worried about this social media stuff and all that other good stuff. We don't even care about what's happening with our own brothers and sisters.
yeah. I mean, I remember just playing like kick the can and like flashlight tag, just like stupid stuff in the neighborhood. But we got to know everybody. We went over to some point in time. We were always going over to somebody else's house. We were meeting somebody's parents. It was just a new experience because, like, I mean, we had a pretty diverse neighborhood, so there's Lebanese group, so you go into the house, it smells completely different than what I was expecting. It's just really cool, and it kind of opened my eyes. I'm like, oh shit, I need to learn a little bit more about this Lebanese cooking. It smells amazing.
Mm-hmm. But we don't do that nowadays. It's a whole different world. It's a whole different world. We gotta. I don't know. I don't. You know what? And I'm gonna say this. I don't know what'll change it. I don't know what'll make it better. But it definitely needs some healing.
I know what'll do it. It's people, it's community, it's people coming together under a singular cause, whether it's art, martial arts, whether it's just being outside on a beautiful day and showing up for whatever entertainment value. It's people just interacting with people, instead of through a device or an algorithm or whatever else it is. We've kind of lost a step. But also I got to think back to, like, go back to 2018, before the pandemic. I was traveling around in marketing, and I was going to a lot of these, like, county fairs and all that stuff, and they were dying. Nobody was going to them anymore. It was just like everybody was just waiting to think, like, how much longer is this going to last? And then the pandemic happened, and suddenly everybody's appetite just got huge for just being outside, doing these community related events. Like, they missed these diesel powered playground equipment or whatever, the tilt-a-whirls and stuff of the world.
Yeah.
And I think we need more of that. We just need more people coming together under for a singular reason.
So wait, let me get my thoughts together. Omni, what happened to you in between this interview and our last interview with you?
Between this interview and last interview, I had another fight, which of course I got the win. I'm 3-0 with Combat Academy. So my plan is to continue to go undefeated. Just been working. My day job, I'm doing roofing, so that's definitely a workout in its own right. And then right after that, I'm right in the gym with Combat Academy, and we do our thing. And if I let's say my day runs off a little later, I got my home gym down in the basement, and then I do a little workout with the kids. There, there's work to be done all days, late nights, early mornings. That's how we do it.
That's awesome. You got a little more hardware on there too. Well, what else you got?
Oh yeah, this is the newest hardware from Rocky's Dojo. This was the April 5th one, the last one that I got. This was the Too Strong one that was in November of last year. Still holding on to that. Uh,
Love it.
oh, I'm always keeping a trophy or two around, because like I said, I'm going undefeated. I'm trying to get more. I'm trying to get more. I'm hungry right now. It
Well,
is.
tell me, you were talking a little bit about just the importance of team sports. Not everybody has access to Robert Bryant in their life, or a coach, or a trainer for combat sports. What other sports did you really resonate with you as you were growing up that maybe led to combat sports later on?
Wrestling.
I mean, fair enough.
I know. in all honesty, I did football. That was my go-to for when I was first in high school. I did football, but in all honesty, combat sports was always whispering in my ear. From I did a little bit of karate. Uh, I only did a couple months of that one. That didn't last too long. Um, but when it came to team sports, I would say football did it for me. I played for a couple of different schools in Chicago. Learned a lot of different things from a lot of different people, and it helps you understand that one, no one knows everything. Not a single person knows everything, and you can always grow your craft. You can always become better. Even if you're the best, you can become better than what you are.
Yeah, no, I hear that. I mean, and I think that that kind of resonates with the watching like Anthony Holloway. He had that one big fight a couple of weeks ago where he just sniped this dude with his right hand, and it was like so Tommy Hearns of him. It was like, oh man, this is so cool. And then in the very next fight, you never know what's going to happen. Like it's a little bit of a crapshoot. I didn't actually get to see that one, so I'm not sure if he went the distance and lost on scorecard or if he got a TKO'd. But I'm gonna assume he went the distance because he's
If
he's a
I'm not
beast of a guy.
mistaken, it was a third round knockout.
Woo! Oh man, my guy. Oh, that makes me feel
Yeah.
bad. That's all right. That's all right. He'll get the next one. He needs to get that Jake Paul fight. I don't know what Jake Paul is like waiting on. They're all in the same weight class. Like, I mean, honestly, you might be up for that one too. You get this Amy one, beat up some Golden Gloves fighters. Then we got to talk the right trash
Oh
to him.
man. We going down in weight, but that would be lovely. See, I'm right now. This fight right here is going at 168. I'm going in there 168. I'm going in there strong. I'm in all honesty, I'm hydrated. I'm at 170 right now. You know what I'm saying? I can lose 2 pounds in my sleep. I'm good. I actually gonna try to get down to the like before I end my Army career. I want to be down in the 150s, and if I can do that.
Okay.
That's where I'm going to go pro, and I'm gonna try to win some belts there.
So, well, I'm curious if I like, let's say, I meet a guy who can set up, any boxing match in the entire world. Who would you want to fight?
Who would I want to fight? In all honesty, I'll take all the big names. Let me fight Shakur. Let me fight Tank. Let me fight Canelo. Let me fight some of them. I know Tank and them is all on like 130, but if they ever came up, let me fight Frank Martin. Let me fight, you know what I'm saying? Let me fight the biggest names. I want to show y'all that Omni Kaboom Jones is one of the greatest fighters, and he will not stop until he can prove that.
So,
I've started
which
this
one of
whole. I
those
started my.
fighters would be your crown jewel? The one that you're just like, oh, that was the one that I knocked them, like I got them off their game.
Call me crazy, but in all honesty, it'd be Canelo. It'll be Canelo.
Dude, watching his workouts, I get why, man. Like he's got just incredible head movement. His footwork is
Mm,
impeccable. Like the way he moves his
mm.
body, and like he throws these really like short punches, but they have this wow power, just incredible. How do you think
He
that would go
do,
down? Do you,
and if it doesn't go the distance, I I feel like it'll end in like one of the later rounds because one, I'm a dog. I'm a dog, and you are not finna just take me out the game. There's not gonna be a person on this earth that's just gonna take me out the game. I'm just letting that be known. It's gonna either go the distance or shit. I'm gonna tear his body up. I'm gonna knock him the fuck out. I'm not going any less than that.
so I've got a separate question for you. So one
Go
one
ahead.
thing that I've is around for people that are just getting into like boxing and combat sports. What do you think is a like a good combination, or like what's a good workout that you would use that you think is like this is where you need to start? Like this is the punch that was like this was my jam for years and I used it all the time. Like what's a combo or a punch that the people should know?
As simple as this might be, I'm gonna say this all the time. You jab, you jab, you jab, you jab, you jab, you jab. Every combo, every great combo starts off with that jab. So if you can't throw a jab, you are not going to get very far.
So tell which part of your jab, because like my favorite jab is like the drop step jab where you step back and then as you're throwing it, so you plant your front foot and step back to get an opponent who's coming in. Where in the jab spectrum? Which one do you have a particular one you
So
like?
so my favorite jab is when I try to proceed and try to probe. So and I end up doing a double jab. So my double jab comes in where I'm trying to find out where you're gonna go. You're gonna try to guard your head, trying to guard your body. I change my levels. I hit you. I double jab to the face, see what you're trying to do. Double jab, change level, head, body. Try to go where you at. And then when I pick you apart, see where you at. All this with my jab, trying to find out where you moving. All this with my jab. Then I land my good cross two with it. Wherever I notice you're gonna open up, wherever I know you're gonna guard, that two is going to land in the opposite direction.
Man, well put. Yeah, it was in my mind. I was like, man, I wish we were doing kickboxing because I would love to throw a head kick in there. Just that was such an
uh,
eloquent way to put it.
I love
So
it. Like that's what like you said. It's a chess match. It's a chess match. You get to find every move you make. You got to make it count. You got to make it count. You got to learn something from it. You got to do something about it. It's a chess game. Boxing IQ is real. If you
Yeah.
don't have it, somebody can play you for a fool.
Well, I appreciate you sharing because a lot of the guys that I talk to, they're really timid about sharing, particular punches or combinations because they're afraid that somebody else is going to see it and they're going to be able to pick them apart. It's like that's the game though. Like then say something that will help you to pick them apart. You know what I mean?
But like Mike Tyson said, though, everybody got a plan so they get punched in the mouth. You can sit there and
Exactly.
come to the gym and try to get some work in and try to watch all the film you can on me. What you gonna do when you actually find out how hard Omni Kaboom can hit? When you find out that, oh no, I gotta guard myself real well because I'm not gonna make it out this round. You're gonna find out real quick that it's not a game and it's boxing is something you don't play. You actually have to live that.
so on social media, Robert Bryant mentioned potentially like reintroducing Peoria Fight Club again. So could you tell more about that potentially, or
If Peoria Fight Clubs come back, it wouldn't be with Robert Bryant doing all the hosting and everything like that. But if Peoria Fight Club comes back, it would be for the betterment of Central Illinois and Peoria itself, because Peoria Fight Club did help out a lot. It did promote a good message with gloves up, guns down, and a lot of people came from all over just to fight in Peoria Fight Club. So that's something that needs to come back.
so talk about more about your experience with Peoria Fight Club.
Peoria Fight Club is actually kind of funny because I randomly found Peoria Fight Club Googling places to box in Peoria, and PFC showed up and popped up. I started seeing videos and everything. Contact Robert. I was like, hey, I want to fight. I don't care. I'm fresh off the couch. I'm ready to fight. And he got me fight with this guy Nathan Hulk. Actually, I was scheduled to fight somebody else, but they didn't show up. So I ended up taking an MMA fight with this guy Nathan Hulk. We went at it for a couple of rounds, and then he got me in a chokehold, and I got out of it. But again, fresh off the couch, I'm tired. I tapped. I'm done. But from there, I kept on going. I'm like, I like this. I love this. This is what I want. I need it. I kept going. I kept losing. I started my underground record 0-4. I was
Man,
Omni
that's
Bones
rough.
Joe, and I was the one that everybody's like. He's gonna quit on you. He's gonna quit on you. He ain't he. All you gotta do is tire him out. He's gonna quit. I went 4, and then I started winning. And then I started winning. My first win was against a guy named Travis, and from there on, I ended up joining the 309 Gladiators. They don't operate anymore, but that was my family team. You know what I mean? That we ran deep with that one. It was a few of the guys, and unfortunately, like I said, we don't they don't train and they don't operate anymore. So I had to basically keep going on my own. Even after PFC shut down, I still kept trying to go. I ended up fighting with Rockies, and now I'm all the way here now. So I started my amateur debut, and I'm gonna say this: within less than a year, I do plan on going pro.
Oh, that's awesome, man. Well, we're certainly going to be interested to follow you through that. So I'm
No,
curious on
definitely.
the with the I mean with the what is it, the PKFC? I always say it wrong.
PFC, Peoria Fight
PFC, yeah,
Club.
pure the with the PFC. I mean, it's been like just insanely popular. I mean, when you go online to the YouTube videos, we're talking millions of views, millions of people have seen this. It's really, some of these things have put, individuals on, the map in terms of the internet is concerned. And I wonder what's the bridge to that? Like, what makes, PFC so cool, but when, we have a, say like an amateur professional boxing event, we're not getting all those extra individuals, all those people coming out of the woodworks. Like, what is it about it that is just so I don't even I can't describe it. It's weird. I need you to help put words to it, because it has its own like vibe, its own aura. But man, did they bring it.
If I could, if I know what you're talking about, and that's something hard to explain. But if I had to put my own little twist to it, I would say it was almost the same reason why Facebook blew up the first time. You know what I mean? It's because it's people that you knew. It's people that you worked with. It's people that that you ran across, and that it was a way that you can get into boxing without having to go through all the red tape and everything like that. And then at the same time, it wasn't trying to just screw anybody over. It was somewhere you can go settle a beef. It was somewhere you can go. It was beautiful. I'm gonna say it was just a it was a beautiful thing. That was you It was a lot of carnage. It was definitely a lot of carnage. There was things that there were people that were getting knocked out cold, but at the same time, there were people always coming back. There was always people coming back because you never knew how the night would end.
Yeah, that's so interesting. Yeah, and I know that's certainly one of the things. I think just knowing that there's just people that are just gonna randomly get into the ring. Like, I think that there's certainly something interesting to be said for that. I mean, that's really just like, I mean, any video. Like, if any of my friend were to be in some video that they put effort into, like, I would go and watch that. So particularly fighting. I mean, fighting's like it's a whole thing. you know. So like, if you're getting into a video for fighting, like, yes, I extra want to see that.
Most
But then it's like,
definitely.
it's weird though, because like once you get in, like you look at like the amateur boxing rings and the bouts and stuff, it's almost like it makes it more boring somehow, and I don't know how to describe it.
You know what? And I'm gonna be like this. It's the no headgear concept. In amateur fights, it looks like everybody's just sparring. In all honesty, it looks like everybody's just sparring. In PFC, you saw people boxing like they were doing it in the pros. We were doing 3 minute rounds and all that. It was we were going hard.
Man, and any crazy injuries?
Me personally, no, but I ended up accidentally knocking the cartilage out of somebody's nose at one point.
Woo! It was just
That was a crazy
I just had
experience.
one of them. Oh man.
Yeah,
I
the one
actually
is
had that happen to me once. I got pistol whipped for a movie, and it came boom right here and just knocked my nose just a little bit that way.
mm,
It was brutal.
yeah, yeah. No, see, I got him with a shovel hook. Yeah, that was yeah.
We a shovel
He
hook.
he tried to bend. He tried to bend down. I
Oh.
came. Yeah, it was almost uppercut. Almost. Yeah, it was a. hmm It was
That
nice. It was nice. It was beautifully executed. Yeah, I just felt bad for him at the. It
yeah,
was
that's
good though.
rough. Taking one for the oh yeah. I
That's
imagine.
what I said. They don't. You can't play boxing. You cannot play this. It's not a game. It is real.
Yeah, I took most of my big shots when I was in doing Muay Thai. You know, there were a couple of guys you'd spar with, and if you got them just
Mm.
right, right in the ego, they would start hitting back a little bit harder, and then yeah, so I got tagged
hmm
in the face a couple of times. Like, man, like I don't need to get knocked out, not while I'm sparring, anyways.
And see, that's one of the things I like sparring with the guys at Combat Academy because they don't try to knock your face off, but they will try to cave your body in, and that's beautiful condition. When because I did suffer from soft body, so they did help work that out. That's beautiful. Like I do love the I don't want to say consideration, but it does feel like consideration. Like I'm gonna knock you out. You gonna hurt, but I ain't gonna try to kill you. I ain't trying to end your career. Then this is a sparring, so that's why I feel like anybody who steps up to me is gonna feel like just another day in the office, and I'm just ready.
Yeah, it sounds kind of like Bruce Lee level conditioning. He was like punching
Mm.
gravel and kicking a 300-pound bag filled with like aluminum and stuff. Like what the heck?
I got a 40-pound weight vest and a 5-pound jump rope. That's some good cardio right there.
Bro.
It hurts, but it does its job. Hey, you got to if you want to be the best, you got to push yourself past your limits.
Oh man, that cardio is the one that gets me. I need to do like once winter happens, I can't get my road work in.
Oh,
And like I used to have like a
I
little
hate
like
that.
stationary bike that I would get all sweaty on, but I can't even really call it road work. But like man,
Yeah,
what do you do in the winter? What did you do this winter?
it's the winter. The winter sucks. I'll be honest with you. The winter sucks
Big
the
time.
same way. I got my little treadmill bike. I'm trying to actually get me a new treadmill and everything like that. But it's hard. Like you said, road work. There between the treadmill and road work, I would take road work every time. I'll
Oh
take the
yeah.
hill, sand, and all that. I'd rather do that than be on a treadmill. But when you got winter and you're in the Midwest, can't help it. You either wait for them days that are like 30 degrees and you get some road work in,
Yeah.
or you get that treadmill, you get that bike, or you know what I'm saying, get that jump rope,
Oh, dude, yeah, I
for
love
you.
jump roping. I feel like it's one of the most underrated exercises. Like, I mean, it's like deadlifting, but in boxing. Like, it's the king of all
Oh yeah,
workouts.
yeah, and it helps you. And I did have to learn that it helps you. Gotta keep moving around when you're doing your jump rope instead of staying stationary. It helps with your footwork. It definitely does. I,
Yeah,
I
absolutely. And what
man,
about
that.
I was gonna say, are
Go
you
ahead.
gonna stick with boxing, or are you gonna get back into the MMA ring at some point?
I'm sticking with boxing. I'm sticking with boxing. I haven't had any I'm be honest with you, I haven't had any MMA offers or anything like that or education that seemed enough that makes me want to pursue it professionally. But boxing I want to pursue professionally. I want to use these hands to feed my family if that makes sense.
Boxers get paid, so yeah, I'd say you're going the right direction. You know,
Most
I
definitely.
I know that they talk about these stories in the UFC all the time. How they're this one person is $50 in their bank account, and now they got this $5,000 bonus. I'm like, so you're bragging about your people being dirt poor and how little you pay them like that? Like
Yeah.
what the hell, man? Come on. 17% of the UFC's revenue goes to pay for their fighters when these guys are putting their lives on the line. So I think you made a smart decision. Same as Conor McGregor, same as Francis Ngannou.
Oh
Everybody's
yeah.
jumping ship and heading over to boxing because that's where you make the real money. You
I'm about
take
to say like just to learn and have the skill, I would definitely learn MMA and all that other stuff. But as a career moving choice, I'm sticking to boxing.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, you pretty much have to if you want to make a living at it long term.
Yeah, most definitely. And I'm a '90s baby. I'm 33 this year. You know, hey, I'm gonna use what I got and trust and believe it. I got enough to put some food on my table. Hey,
So before you get to your, Canelos and everyone else, like who do you see being your first professional fight? Ryan Garcia.
who do I see? Oh, that'd be fun. That'd be fun. But I definitely probably wouldn't be my first. In all honesty, whoever my first one is gonna be dog food because I'm gonna be thinking about is I'm getting paid for this every single day. That my first pro fight is like that. I know I'm here. I'm here, and every day is gonna be spent working even harder than I am now. And trust and believe I'm already working hard.
You know what I want to see? I want to see you as like in all the meme fights. You know what I mean when I say that? Just all the. I want to see you be the meme destroyer. Just get out there, and then every time they put some meme boxer, Charlie Zennerhoff, Jake
Give
Gyllenhaal,
me,
Jake, the other Jake,
hey, yeah.
and you
I,
just obliterate them. Just every single one. Like I would watch that every week. Like I would, yeah, I would sign you to a contract. I would pay $100 a month to just watch that happen every Friday. They just put somebody in front of you and you just blast their face into oblivion.
I would love that. Hey, I'm down for it. Sign the papers. Give me, hey, I'm ready. Watch this fight this weekend. Watch this fight in Waukegan this weekend, and you gonna see that is not a bad idea. Because whoever they do set up against me is going to get dropped. It is written in the stars at this point.
Yeah, Will Martinez, I do not envy you, my guy. You've got your
Man,
work cut out for you. So let's see, we've got May 3rd, Saturday. It's a 300 Lakehurst Road, Waukegan, Illinois. Weigh-ins are at 5 p.m. Drinks and food at 6:30. Fights start at 7:30 p.m. Come check out. They got more than a dozen fights bouts on this card, so there's going to be a whole lot of action. Omni Kaboom Jones is going to be one of those people fighting Will Martinez. He's gonna put him down. I've got no doubt about this guy. Anything that everybody needs to know before you get into the ring?
it's gonna be a show. Tune in. We going live. It's gonna be better up front. I love the support. I do appreciate it. I see it. I do love it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Y'all know what I do. I'm gonna continue to work hard, continue to train, and like I said, in less than a year, y'all gonna see Omni Jones making his pro debut. Y'all hear it here first.
Awesome. Hey, that is Omni Kaboom Jones on Fight Talks, brought to you by Peoria Life. Check us out on PeoriaLife.com. Show your support. Thank you so much for being here. Let's get you back on after this fight, and I'm real curious to see how things go.
Thank you everyone for
No,
tuning
definitely.
in. Thank you everyone for tuning in and have a good night.